I mean, if I lived on the West Coast, it would probably be Santa Cruz.
Right.
Like the perfect sleepy, just a beautiful place with just a beautiful situation. I mean, that was the coolest thing about being on tour. I just got to see so many areas of the country that I had never. I mean, I understand the appeal of the life of like a road dog pirate, but like at the same time, like we were in. Did Joe ever tell you what happened to us in Augusta, Georgia,
with Blitzkid? No.
Blitzkid? Yeah, you never heard the story about the biker compound?
No, definitely not.
Oh my. All right. Holy shit. I don't know if I've ever talked about this publicly. We do the show. And you know, as you know, touring with in the box truck, you know, if there's no hotel situation, you got to crash with. I'm sure you know you guys talked about with the Darrow thing.
Yeah.
There's always somebody at that level. You're looking for a place to park. Looking for a place to plug in, charge the batteries. For Goolsby, was all about charging those batteries, you know. And so we didn't have any anchors like that. I guess I would call it an anchor, right? It's like an anchor in Augusta, Georgia.
Right.
And the guy, I'll never forget his fucking name as long as I live. Chuck. Fucking Chuck. Now you're hearing this through my POV as with my background. This might not have been a scary situation for you the way it was scary for me. Fucking nice, really nice sound guy. He had a big bushy beard. I remember that. Biker guy. At some point, I was not privy to this conversation. At some point, it is determined that Chuck has a place for us to park for the night, to crash. He is in a bank. They're a biker gang stealer or something, right? So we follow them. We follow him. I don't remember what car he was driving. Although actually, because there's so much fucking video, I probably could fucking find probably find something and tell you so many more details. Although I will tell you, the moment we entered the property, I didn't record a fucking thing.
Right.
We get onto this property. It's a compound. It's not a fucking. Well, I thought we were going to like a biker club. We go in. We're driving through thick, deep, dark woods in the fucking South, in somewhere on the outskirts of Augusta, Georgia. We get to the compound. It's a giant sprawling like acreage of land. There's a well, and there's like a clubhouse, like a biker clubhouse, like what I thought we were going to, but just not on this giant sprawling compound.
Right.
And so we walk in. Everything's cool. Chuck is super nice and super hospitable. Goolsby parks the box truck over by yonder, plugs into I think it was like a street lamp post, right? And Goolsby was crashing in the box truck. We were all going to sleep inside the clubhouse. And Joey was with us, right? Joey Lowe. Shout out to Joey Lowe.
What's up, Joey?
Joey Lowe, Joey fucking Lowe. Watch him drink coffee and watch him go. That's what Tracy would always say about Joey Lowe. And oh my God, you just reminded me of the fucking Blitzkid Russian footage. So we get to the fucking clubhouse. We go inside. There's like a bar, right? It's like a bar type situation. And Joey's he's flipping through there's like a loose leaf binder. He's hanging out with Chuck, just having a grand old time. There's a loose leaf binder full of fucking Polaroids of topless chicks. Because that's what they do at this club. The old ladies, they come in, they take off their shirt, take a Polaroid, and he's having a grand old time flipping through this thing. There are mattresses in the room over. There are mattresses laid out on the ground for us. Just very basic, bare accommodations. But hey, for just a place to lie, a place to lie your head for the night. Again, it wasn't like we were trying to live luxuriously. Obviously, we're on the road. It's just a place to lay your head. And this is when, all right, now you're gonna come inside my head for a minute. So here I am, Jeff, the fucking green, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed videographer guy on the tour. And I'm looking around. I see Joe and Stripes. They go into the other room where the mattresses are, and they're getting all settled. Or maybe they're smoking cigarettes. They're in my peripheral,
right?
Which is what happens on tour a lot too. everybody kind of goes off on their own thing, and you kind of don't know where everybody else is, and you always hear like their side of the situation.
Yeah.
They go off. Stripes and JV go off as they would do. They would go off and do their thing, and I'm sort of gathered around looking at this, these topless pictures with Joey. And we're even having a joke. The inside joke of the tour was that everybody would find a place where like it was their place that they love so much, and that like leave the moment in a movie where you go, leave me. I'm not like, come on. It's like, no, I'm staying, that sort of thing. And we were joking about how that was Joey's place at first.
Right.
At first. And then I turn my head and I look at all the T-shirts on the wall. They have merch, the Steelers wheel or whatever the fuck they're called, the biker group, motorcycle combat. So guys, whoever's watches in the future, have you ever seen fucking Sons of Anarchy? If you've seen Sons of Anarchy, they all have those compounds, those biker club places. It was just like one of those, very similar, that sort of deal. There were no other people there except for Chuck. Place was empty. I look on this T-shirt and I'm looking and I'm going, oh, that's funny. There's a swastika on that T-shirt. Whoa. It's kind of broken and there's like a shotgun, but I guess, you know what? That must be, it's like they're shooting at the swastika, like they're shooting a shotgun at the swastika because they hate that stuff. Yeah, that's what that is. And so I'm going, and then I walk into the other walk in the other room. For anyone who doesn't know, I'm a little Jewish boy. Okay, Jew here. By
the way, I miss you guys down here in the South.
What? Just Jews in general? Yeah, you probably can't get a good bagel, man. It probably sucks.
Bagels.
Yeah, I'm sorry for that.
Yeah, it's a bummer, dude. But just even like the way we're talking here, just you are quintessential.
I'm an East Coaster, man.
Right.
I'm just like I identify as a Larry David Jew.
Right.
I'm not like a religious Jew. I'm just I'm a Larry David Jew. I'm a bagel Jew, that sort of thing. I'm culturally, but I'm very proud of my heritage. I'm proud that I'm a Jew. You know what I mean? So it's not like I'm trying to sit there on Rosh Hashanah. My wife is super religious, but not me. So, but listen, all my life, no one's ever forgotten that I was a Jew, like, I've always been like, it's always that sort of thing. So I'm always just like, fuck it, I'm a Jew, whatever. Fuck it.
Okay. So, all right. So you see this and those thoughts grow through your mind. What happens directly?
So then I walk a little bit further and I see that there's a German war helmet and it's got the spike on it.
Right.
This is the Kaiser helmet. This is from World War I. Carlos, Joe, Loki. This is before World War II. World War II is Nazis. World War I, fucking Germans.
Right.
So I'm going, oh, look at that helmet. That's like a German helmet, but that's World War I. That's not World War II. Whatever. Keep walking. All over the walls are people's names. That's what they do there. Just like at every venue that you guys play at, where everybody signs their fucking name on the wall or in the bathroom and stickers and yada, yada, yada. Tons of shit. And Chuck encourages everybody to write their names on the wall because whoever comes through there has to write their name on the wall, that sort of thing.
Right.
And so at some point, as I'm going through this denial in my head, I look up at the ceiling and I go, oh, and I see a giant Confederate flag and I'm going, oh shit. And I'm like, Jeff,
I mean, you are in the South.
I go, Jeff, you're in the South, buddy. Like they still, but you have to understand, listen, even in 2012, when this took place, there was a time where like a Confederate flag did not necessarily on the surface level. It's just like, oh no, that's just Southern pride.
Right.
No big deal. Like it's only recently, as we were talking about, we're going into an age of enlightenment where people for the first time are going like, whoa, that's actually fucked up. Like, no, okay. So that's like a fucking Holocaust flag for black people. You know what I'm saying? Like that's some fucked up shit.
Right.
So that's like what this flag is slowly transforming into. But in 2012, it's like, oh no, I'm in the South, silly. That's okay.
Right.
And then immediately to the right, giant fucking Nazi flag.
Damn.
Giant fucking swastika with giant white circle with giant red flag with swastika. And I immediately turn my head to the left or the right or whatever. And there's Joe staring directly at me. He knows what I've seen. He knows why I look physically flustered in that moment.
Right.
And he says the funniest fucking thing that to this day, like when we've spoken and whenever we do that, that I have like that. It's just so funny. He goes, he's smoking a cigarette and he takes a drag and he goes in his deep Joe-like voice. He goes, he goes, good thing you're Italian, Frumess. I
knew it would be something like that. I knew it was.
I just not because everybody knew I was Jew, and I'm just going, and then I'm like, two things become immediately clear to me. Three things become immediately clear to me. Thing number one, there's no way I'm sleeping in this room underneath a Nazi flag as a Jew. I just won't fucking do it. Because even though I'm like a cultural Jew, I still like the fucking Holocaust. That's like shit. I don't, we all have things in life that we hold sacred or that we that we take very seriously. For me, 9/11 as a New Yorker, I don't joke. No 9/11 jokes. I won't make a joke about that. John Lennon being murdered in the same way that I know you're a Pantera fan. I'm sure if someone made a joke about Dimebag Darrell being fucking shot, like that would fucking offend you. I don't joke about fucking John Lennon being killed because it just fucking bums me out so much. And lastly, I don't fucking make jokes. The Holocaust bums me out like no other. So it's like, I'm not sleeping under this fucking Nazi flag. It's just not happening.
Right.
And at the same time, here's thing number two. Thing number two is I realize in that moment, I am probably the only Jew that has ever walked through these doors in this compound in the middle of fucking nowhere. I'm the only Jew that's ever been here. Nobody here knows I'm a fucking Jew. I got to do something to show that I'm a Jew and that I've been here. Right. And it was like this super idiotic, dangerous like notion that I had inside. And the third thing I realized was if you wanted to bury a body on that property,
easy,
no one would ever find it. You throw it down the well. Anything that if you cross someone in the wrong way, and again, I know I sound super dramatic when I say that, like maybe I'm like over exaggerating it, probably, but it's that is a fucking true as fuck fact. If you wanted to bury a body on that property, you could. No one would ever ask about it. No one would ever find it. It just would never happen. That's it. That's the end of you.
Right.
And still I did the dumbest thing in the fucking world. I go up to the fucking wall where everybody's writing their names behind a fucking lampshade.
Did you write Jeff the Jew?
I just drew a Star of David. I drew the fucking Jewish star of the people of Jews. And then I fucking got out of there. And I knocked on the trailer door and I said, Goolsby, I want to sleep in here tonight. I explained the situation to Goolsby and I slept in the trailer. Fast forward.
Did you tell him that you did that?
I told not a soul that I did that for a very specific reason. Because one, I knew what I did was wrong.
Yeah. You don't want
what I did was wrong.
To get asked about that, and then they already.
Are you fucking kidding me? I don't want anybody to feel uncomfortable in a very uncomfortable situation. And three, I don't. Yeah, I mean, there is no three. Those are the reasons. I didn't want to fucking freak anybody out, and I didn't want to make anybody uncomfortable. I just knew. Especially, I'm like, dude, you're the fucking new guy on the block on this fucking tour, and doing some really risky, dangerous, fucked up shit. And the truth is, Loki, I'm doing it for the story. Right. I'm telling you this story now. And like, I knew at that time, I was like, I knew I was going to talk about this if I fucking did it. And it was also kind of like a dare to myself. Like, do you have a fucking balls to do this? I just had to do it. I just had to fucking do it.
Yeah.
I did it. 3 days later, I've not said a word to anybody. I was like, maybe I'll tell them, but I'll wait until like the tour, like the first leg of the tour is over.
Right.
I want to put some distance between me and this action. And Joe fucking says some comment. We're on our way. We're in Texas, maybe. And Joe is just like, I can't believe you drew a Star of David in that fucking biker thing. And everybody's like, you did what? I was shocked because I didn't know that Joe had saw me. I thought nobody had seen me do it. I was trying to do it on the low. I did it behind a lampshade to keep it hidden. So it wasn't even really. It wasn't brash because I fucking, It wasn't brash because I did it behind a lampshade. If it was really brash, I would have fucking just done it and like been like,
wall,
yo, motherfucker. But like, I wasn't that fucking. I didn't have those kind of balls.
Nope.
And
or should you?
Nor should I. And I explained to everybody. I admitted that it was stupid, and nobody. You know what? To be honest, nobody gave me shit about it. Like, honestly, we were past it. I explained exactly what I explained to you. I said I didn't want to fucking freak anybody out. I just felt like I needed to do it. It was a situation. And you know, it was just like, it was just fucking crazy. And it was like, it's just weird to think that those places still, you know, exist. We ran into fucking white supremacist people in Germany on the last night of after the last Blitzkid show. We're at a carnival and I'm fucking taping, and this is on tape. Motherfuckers like are confronting me in German, and I don't speak the fucking language.
Right.
And they're like something about like you, because I'm panning the camera. We're in a giant crowd. We're in a giant fucking crowd. It's super fucking like packed, you know. I'm just like shooting B-roll because that's what I was tasked to do. Jeff, make sure you get this. Jeff, I can't count the times that we would be sitting in the fucking tour van and like there'd be like a fucking castle in the far off background, like some shaky fucking castle that has no connotation to anything. And someone would be like, Jeff, get this right now. And you know, my job was 24/7. Like I always had to have a camera in hand, always had to have it ready. Never sure what it was going to be used for. Never sure how I would make it fit. It was just like, those guys could only think film cool shit. Like for me, I was like, let me film all the live shows, because what I was hoping beyond hope that if I filmed all the live shows, that something super spontaneous and crazy would happen. I mean, how many times, Loki, have you been fucking playing on the stage and something super fucking crazy happens and you're like, fuck, I wish there was a camera to catch it. Yep. That was my every night. I was wishing. And the only one time we were in Arizona and these two girls get up while fucking TV is fucking Tracy is doing She Dominates. And this guy pulls out a fucking whip and he starts whipping these two very heavy set girls on the fucking stage. I have all that on fucking tape too. They just jumped up in the middle of the show, mid fucking song. He's singing She Dominates and these girls bend over and he just starts whipping the shit out of these girls. Not Tracy, the fucking
the guy.
You know, yeah, the guy, because I guess they knew that like the song was about like that shit, right. And like they were like, I'm gonna have the camera ready. So I always wanted to have, my main concern was I always wanted to make sure that there was a camera rolling while they were playing, and less so, you know, driving in the fucking, you know, German countryside to get some fucking far off castle.
Right.
Like that's just stupid, you know. Like, and then on the flip side, trying to anticipate when that was the expectation and like jumping out of the van and trying to get as much B-roll of like Romania as fucking possible of the city. And like, you know, because I have to anticipate the band's needs. You're on the band schedule. I have to be ahead of everybody's schedule. So when they're sound checking, I need to do audio video tests. Yep. When they're breaking down, I need to be outside interviewing fans. Why? Because we got to hop in the fucking van and go to the next show.
Yep.
And so it's like, it was, and there was nobody who taught me how to do any of that. I just had to fucking figure it out for something that I, you know, that was a very sort of like, you know, there was a lot of room for interpretation, you know, like it was capturing interviews, capturing what was happening when we were when we got that flat. I shot all this footage. I felt so bad for Goolsby, honestly. It must have been so frustrating. There's hours to get to the fucking show. And this tire fucking pops. We're stranded at a fucking mechanic in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Right.
And it's super hot day. And he keeps pumping corners into an air machine, but the air machine's eating the quarters. So he's like rocking the machine back and forth. Then it kicks in. He's trying to get, you know, the thing about that box truck is there's two tires. So he's trying to get to the tire, the inside tire, to fill up air. It's like 100 degrees outside. He's got to do all the driving. And then, you know, the thing is, those guys, they do all the driving. They get out of the show. They talk to everybody. You know, I understand. You guys said this on your thing. I was very mad at Kim Necroman from the Necromantics. We were doing a Nashville show. And there was something was set up with their side of the management because I guess they had done a tour with Necromantics. I was supposed to fucking interview Kim right after the show. I got the okay from their guy. I literally crossed the street. I crossed the street. They were playing right across the street. Cross over. I go there. I'm led into the show by the fucking handler manager guy. It's not like I'm just some fucking dude.
Right.
I go up. He finishes the show. They're literally playing Who Killed the Cheerleader. He finishes the fucking show. I like the Necromantics a lot, or at least I did. And he just walks off, and I'm like following him. I'm going, Kim, we got to do the interview. And he's just ignoring me. He's completely ignoring me. Doesn't make any eye contact with me. I'm literally sent over here by fucking Goolsby to like fucking take care of this shit. And this guy is like just walking away. And I'm like, what the fuck do I do? Like he walks into his show, he goes, I'm going to bed. And he just walks in and closes the door. And I think what you and Joe said was so fucking apropos. It's what the fucking tour manager in Europe said. Chris, he's like, you just don't know what someone's day was like. You don't know what the situation was. You don't know what happened. You know, there might have been some miscommunication. I resented that dude for a long time until I thought about that.
Yeah.
And I realized that it was probably some thing.
Can't base it on one meeting. If there's a cycle of behavior, then you know. But if it's based on one meeting, you just never fucking know what happened that day. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's essentially how it was summed up. But you know, I felt so like deflated, returning empty-handed.
Right. Yeah.
You know? I'm like, oh my god, like fucking, you know, I was supposed to get this would have been a big interview, and it just
didn't work out. Yeah.
Oh, he literally got off stage. He saw me. He makes a beeline for the side door and just keeps walking. And I'm like, I'm not sure. I'm like, do I follow him? So I follow him. And I'm like, and the other thing too is I'm not thinking this guy just got off the stage, hasn't even had a second to wipe sweat from his brow.
Right.
Like I'm not thinking about any of that stuff. I just have this expectation of like, I want to, you know, do my job and please everybody and get my shit. And like,
this
I'm not
what
even
I'm supposed to do right now. Yeah.
This is what I'm supposed to do right now. I want to get it. I want to get it because I have to get back and I have to break things down and fucking put things away too. You know, I'm just like, it was, and it took me a few years to really understand that there's just so much going on. Your 60 seconds is your moment, your memory. My memory of Kim Neckerman is 60 seconds in his day that he doesn't remember from the year 2012.
Yeah.
And that dude's not even that famous or anything. Imagine like someone like Nicolas Cage who meets thousands of people.
Yeah, dude.
Every day.
I can't understand. It's hard to imagine what a person with real fame goes through, you know? And it just takes that one person where they're like, oh yeah, I met him at a diner and he was a dick. No, you were probably the dick of like your expectation of that you're going to walk up to someone while they're eating with their family, interrupt them while they're just trying to have a peaceful fucking meal like you were with your friends. Imagine some stranger goes up to you and just starts hanging out with you and bullshitting about their lives while you're trying to fucking eat a sandwich. You know what I mean? Like
there's expectation. There's expectation and like entitlement. And it just like there's just not understanding.
Right.
There's just no understanding on the situation. That dude from Back to the Future, the guy who plays Biff, you know, he has a card now. When people come up to him, they say, are you Biff from Back to the Future? He hands them a card, and on it is an FAQ with the 5 most popular things that people fucking say.
Yeah.
And he just answers them. He goes, yes, I am Biff from Back to the Future. I'm not interested in taking a photograph.
Right.
I don't think there's going to be a Back to the Future 4. Yes, I enjoyed being Biff. Like he goes, here, man, walks away. Do you imagine he was encountered so many times, and he's just a fucking nobody, but he's in such an iconic movie. That dude was encountered so many times that he went to Vistaprint and he said, hey, get this made up, make up these fucking cards for me, okay? And just keeps them in his pocket.
It's crazy.
It's fucking crazy, man. It's fucking insane, you know.
Fucking after those shows, bro, like we were going off the stage and directly to the merch table, with no break, like not even 60 seconds to take a sip of water. I would fucking jump off the stage and lead a fucking line towards the merch table. We sit there and fucking have Michael sign everything, talk to everyone. And dude, more than anything, that was the most taxing part of our day.
Emotional labor.
Emotional labor. Not only that, but you're talking people over loud music, and like, you know, I'm singing fucking 56 nights in a row. Like, talking to people does more stress and damage on my voice than fucking singing 60 nights in a row.